right, we'll go ahead and get kicked off. Can you guys all see the starting screen with the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so my name is Matt Sandman. I'm the Public Information Manager for Kiewit Meridian Partners. This is our monthly coffee and chat slash maintenance of traffic meeting. So appreciate your guys' time. Hope everyone's staying warm out there, but just wanted to go over, first we'll go through some upcoming impacts to be aware of, and then we'll go through our flyover video, and then we'll come back and look at these closures again. Hopefully kind of having it on both ends helps make sense to everybody. So stop me along the way if there's any questions. Feel free to use the chat feature. But getting kicked off. So Brenda, you can see my Steel Street on-ramp slide right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So upcoming closure of the Steel Street on-ramp to westbound I-70. We have this scheduled to close November 9th through September 2021. So this is a pretty long duration closure in order to build the lowered section in the location where the current on-ramp is. So once traffic's moved down into the lowered section, the new Steel Street on-ramp will come back online. So detours to 48th Avenue, we are going to build a temporary on-ramp from southbound Colorado. So detour to 48th, south on Colorado, you'll take a left to access westbound I-70. Moving the eastbound off-ramp to Holly Street. So as part of this project, Holly does become the new main interchange for the Dahlia Holly Monaco area. So starting on November 5th, we will relocate the I-70 westbound off-ramp to Holly Street. When this happens, the current Dahlia Holly Monaco off-ramp does close permanently. So in our final configuration and starting November 5th, you'll access this way. To get to Stapleton South, west of Dahlia, you'll need to exit Colorado, go through the intersection, and then that'll connect you to Stapleton South as shown on my map here. So businesses, Safeway in particular, a lot of these really west of Holly Street will need to access through Colorado. We do have a upcoming closure of Dahlia Street under I-70, November 8th through November 16th. This is to demolish the existing structure that westbound traffic was previously traveling on. So last week we did switch onto the new widenings through a lot of the center segment of the project. Now that traffic's offline on this bridge, we'll come in and have about a, what would that be, about an 8-day closure to demo the existing structure. And then we'll move over to Holly and do the same thing. So that's scheduled to be closed November 16th through November 23rd. We do have an upcoming closure of the Quebec Street on-ramp to westbound I-70. This will start November 3rd and be closed for approximately 2 weeks. Detour to the Holly Street on-ramp to get onto westbound I-70. So if you're coming from Quebec, you will still be able to turn to get at the existing ramp, you turn on, but that'll get you to Stapleton North. So you can access businesses all along here, and then to get on the highway, you'll use the new Holly Street on-ramp right about Forest Street. So one thing to mention with this closure, the Monaco Holly Dahlia off-ramp will also be closed, and so new access will be through Quebec Street to get to Stapleton North to access those businesses. So permanent configuration, Holly being the new interchange, access to Monaco, for example, would need to be through Quebec Street using the new frontage road there. Just touch quickly on community office hours that are hosted. So Tuesdays 11 to 11:30 and Thursdays 2:30 to 3. And then our contact information, if you ever need to get a hold of us. I think most of you should have all that, especially if you're on this call, but website, email, hotline, and sign up for text alerts, follow us on social media. And with that, I will turn it over to our aerial footage, and we'll run through these closures again and talk about progress, and hopefully some of these closures kind of make sense seeing it on the highway. So starting here at Brighton, a lot of activity going on building the new widenings to the north that'll accommodate east and westbound I-70. Really moving east, this is where we begin going into the lowered section of the new highway. So as you could probably assume, this Brighton off-ramp goes right through the lowered section here. So come December, we will be closing the off-ramp for an extended period of time at Steel Street to accommodate building out this lowered section, and we'll come back online summer 2021 once we are in our final alignment for the for westbound I-70. Moving over to the Union Pacific Railroad Bridge, a lot of activity happening here, really a big portion of the project, getting this area complete. We do have one track left to move into service on the new bridge. Once that happens, you'll see the removal of the existing shoe flies that are built, and then a lot of this excavation work can start commencing through this area, building out the new lowered section through here. Moving over to York Street, here in the lower left corner, we do have the new pump station being constructed. So this services all the water from the lowered section, filters and services the water here, and then sends it out to the Platte. York Street itself, right in this location, we are building that new bridge that closed back in August, scheduled to open spring of next year to get that new north-south connection on the new bridge, similar to Josephine, Columbine, Clayton, and Fillmore. Josephine Street is open and operational for northbound traffic, and then moving into the covered section area. A lot of work being completed both with the bookends of either end of the lowered section, a lot of pavement placed underneath the bridge itself. Columbine and Clayton Streets are both open, and then we'll start seeing a lot of activity on new 46th Avenue North, connecting some of these north-south streets. For example, here Josephine to York, and then Clayton to Fillmore. You'll start to see some of pieces of this road coming online. Fillmore Street is open for north-south travelers in this area. And then, as I mentioned, the Steel Street on-ramp to westbound I-70, which goes through the current or the future lowered section, does need to close. Like I said, that'll happen November 9th, allowing us to build out this portion of the lowered section through here, getting the new on-ramp online once traffic's moved down into this lowered section. Steel Street is open and operational. You can kind of see the final alignment of 46th Avenue North. This is all westbound frontage road traffic, a little detour out here, but you can see the final alignment of 46th Avenue going through Steel Street, with 46th Avenue South servicing all eastbound traffic still underneath the viaduct. A lot of activity here at New Cook Street Bridge. So girders replaced. So we'll start working on bridge deck and approaches getting to this new bridge for this new north-south connection over the lowered section here. BNSF bridge is complete and operational, and also Monroe Street has been open for quite a while here, servicing all these businesses here in this kind of southwest quadrant of Colorado. A lot of asphalt being placed. You can see a lot of the new alignment coming to life here. Here servicing, will service east and westbound traffic, but permanent configuration will be westbound traffic through this section, and then seeing the new Colorado on-ramp coming to life through this area. A lot of ongoing work on the last portion of the Colorado Boulevard widening. So we do have some bridge work going on here to get the new northbound portion of the bridge completed. Probably around the end of the year in December. We'll have traffic switched onto this new widening, and then that'll warrant having a full highway closure to demolish the existing last remaining piece of the Colorado Boulevard Bridge. Then moving into the center, I guess I'll talk about Dahlia real quick. So here's the existing Dahlia Holly Monaco off-ramp. When this closes come November 5th, that's when traffic will be serviced through Colorado Boulevard onto this new portion of Stapleton Drive South. You can see this new section of road that opened up last week. So this is the new widening to the north. Getting traffic switched onto here was a big milestone for the project, and that really allows us to start removals and replacement of the center portion where traffic previously was traveling. Drone pilot got a little distracted here, but now back here at Dahlia Street. Here you can see this is where we'll have I-70 closed underneath, or excuse me, Dahlia closed underneath I-70 to remove this portion of the bridge. A lot of work in preparation for the new widening to the south. A lot of asphalt being placed. Similar to westbound, we'll get traffic switched onto that new widening, allowing us to remove and replace where eastbound traffic is traveling today. Like I mentioned, once Dahlia Street opens, we'll jump over to Holly. So Holly under I-70 closed November 16th through the 23rd to remove this portion of the bridge. We currently do have Stapleton Drive, or excuse me, Holly Street north of Stapleton Drive North is currently closed. This is scheduled to reopen on November 2nd. Really starting to see the project take shape through this area, hitting some pretty exciting milestones and getting some work completed through here. Hopefully people are starting to see those the relief in this area. So we do, with the new switch, have the new location for the Holly Street off-ramp here at about Forest Street. And then ongoing bridge work happening here at Monaco, really through this area on the north side, pretty well buttoned up. Still some work to do on the south side to get the eastbound widening completed. This is the off-ramp that I mentioned that will close for the Monaco Holly Dahlia off-ramp. Permanent alignment for this area, servicing through Quebec Street. And you'll have a decision point to make in the final alignment to either get back on the highway coming through Quebec, you can either get onto westbound I-70 or stay onto Stapleton Drive North to access the business area through the center segment between Monaco and Holly. Ongoing bridge work over Denver Rock Island. A lot of great progress being made there. And like I mentioned, with the Quebec Street on-ramp closure to westbound I-70, closed for about 2 weeks just to get this area reconfigured, get switched onto this new widening, both for the Quebec on-ramp and then for the access to Stapleton Drive North. Bridge widenings to the north and south, progressing here over Quebec Street, so similar to the other intersections in the center, get traffic switched onto these north and south widenings. That allows us to remove and replace the existing structure over Quebec Street. And then really east of Quebec, once we get to 270, pretty well in final alignment, pretty minimal disruptions in this area, final pavements placed, final sign structures, lighting, barrier, pretty well completed through this area. About Chambers Road, there's some ongoing median work going on, but for all intents and purposes, really the east segment from 225 out is pretty well in its final alignment. So let me jump back over to our presentation, just to kind of hopefully give a better visual now that you've seen the flyover. But again, Steel Street on-ramp closure starting November 9th, detour to Colorado. Relocation of the new eastbound Holly off-ramp starting on November 5th. So that'll move to this location. This existing ramp closes to Dahlia Holly Monaco, access to this area through Colorado Boulevard to get to Stapleton Drive South starting November 5th. Dahlia under I-70 closed November 8th through November 16th, and then Holly Street closed under I-70 November 16th through November 23rd. And then our closure of the Quebec Street on-ramp to westbound I-70, traffic detouring down Stapleton Drive North, entering the highway near Holly or just west of Holly Street. And that's when the ramp to Monaco access will be fed through Quebec Street. Another plug for the virtual office hours if anyone's interested in joining. And then once again, our contact information. So if there's any areas you want me to jump back to, please let me know. Hopefully that all made sense to everybody, but this is your guys' time to ask any questions or voice any concerns. We have CDOT on the call. We've got some of our traffic folks on the call that can answer more specific questions than I probably could. So let me know if there's anything we can answer for you. And Isaac, let me know if there's anything you think I missed that this group needs to know.
No, I'm good. I think we covered all the big traffic movements we got coming up and shutdowns.
Perfect. Well, I'll hang on here for a few more minutes and feel free to either use the chat feature or unmute yourself to ask questions, or feel free to shoot us an email. We'll send out these maps and this information to the business group. So look out for that, and feel free to reach out with any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Hey, I really appreciate these updates. I think the drone footage is really great to see, real live traffic and actually what's going on. So I don't have any questions, but just want to say how much I appreciate these to keep informed, stay informed.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate it, Steve. Let us know if there's anything we can do.
Okay, thanks.
All right, take care. Well, I'll stay logged on till about 10:30. For all intents and purposes, anybody without questions, you guys are dismissed, but I'm out here for about 4 more minutes and see if anyone else has anything to ask.